welcome to another edition of the Dugout Podcast. I'm your co-host, Andrew, alongside my fellow co-host, as always, Marissa.
Hi.
Marissa, how have you been? How was your weekend?
Is that a serious question?
Yeah. I didn't see you, so I'm actually generally interested.
My weekend was fine.
It was?
Yes, it was fine.
Nothing happened? Nothing.
My weekend was fine.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. You're not really concerned self.
I am very concerned.
Mm-hmm.
You have to check in on your friends. Anyhow, welcome back to the Dugout Podcast. We're excited to have another episode.
Are we?
We are. We must apologize for our absence last week. I guess I spoke too soon with the whole consistency remark. But nevertheless, we're back
happens.
again. It's true. Life happens.
Yeah.
So, where should we start? Some cricket?
No, I prefer to start with football.
Really?
Yeah. I just want to get it out of the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with some football.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should start with any update on the leaderboard. You only have one so far,
yeah.
but...
I am in the lead.
You are?
Mm-hmm. Not by much, though.
What a surprise.
Let me put it out here quickly. But I thought we would go to leaderboard when we're doing predictions. But okay, we could start with that. I don't mind starting with leaderboard first. This was results from 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
When we had our second show.
Yes, please.
Right. So I think I have 9 points. I'm trying to find it now because my phone is not cooperating. Right. So I have 8 points.
Mm-hmm.
I correctly predicted Spurs 2, Fulham 0.
Mm-hmm.
And you have 7 points. And you correctly predicted Sheffield 1, Manchester United 2.
Correct.
The differential was the Chelsea Arsenal draw. I went with a draw. You went with a 2-0 Arsenal win. It should have been a 2-0 Chelsea win, but we won't get into that. That game has passed and gone and whatever. But
yeah.
So I have a pretty good start. So I'm hoping to carry on the momentum.
Yeah, just was it 28 more match days to go? We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
All right, so I asked us to start with leaderboard, not for necessarily making predictions, but just to pinpoint teams that we're going to discuss this evening. So since mentioned Chelsea,
do we have to?
Any thoughts?
I don't know. I just feel, I'll tell you what I said when I was watching the game. Every time Chelsea takes 1 or 2 steps forward, it's 2 steps back.
Right.
And that's the frustrating thing. I get people, you talk to, depending on your Chelsea fan you talk to, you hear different opinions. I don't know what Christopher's saying, I'm sure you mentioned it. But there's some Chelsea fans that are willing to be patient, understanding that it's a young and inexperienced team, so it will be inconsistent. Right. There's some that feel, we're Chelsea, we should be winning. No. I fall somewhere in between the two. I think that it's a young and inexperienced team, so I'm willing to be patient because I think the eye test and the underlying stats show that we are playing better than we were last season.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think some of the chances that we miss, some of the decision making in the final third is what's really letting us down. I don't mind 2-0 scoreline. Well, of course I mind it. What I mean by that is the second goal can happen when you're pushing for a goal, your goalkeeper up, whatever. But should have never gone into that. First half, we should have been comfortably 2 up. And it's just really disappointing because we sit 11th on the table. And I just feel like Chelsea needs to start scoring goals. That is ultimately the problem. I don't think we're playing poorly. Last season we played some really poor games. This season we've had a couple poor games, but I don't think we're playing poorly. It's just that age-old problem, that 18 months to 2-year problem of putting the ball in back in net. That is the problem. So this is now Villa 1-0 at home. Brentford 2-0 at home. Forest 1-0 at home. That's 9 points we should have, Andrew. Honestly, in those games, I cannot legitimately say that the opposition outplayed us. I can't. if I think about, can I think of a game where we were, can you think of a game, honestly, that Chelsea have been legitimately outplayed this season? If you're being honest. I know you don't always watch Chelsea.
Correct. But let me just say this. I'm always honest for the most part when it comes to Chelsea or football teams for that matter.
Yes, you are. For the most part.
And, sometimes it is an unpopular opinion. My thoughts, but no. I can't remember.
Even the West Ham game you watched live.
Yeah, I was about to say late. I think second half West Ham made some adjustments and negated your threat. But I wouldn't say that, that was stonewall written that would be a Chelsea defeat. I actually thought Chelsea, after getting the equalizer, would have kicked on and perhaps potentially won the game. So no, I would agree. Like, even in that game, my takeaway from it, leaving the stadium, was that I felt as though Chelsea played well, and I felt as though, like, okay, it's not, they lost to West Ham, but I didn't think it was a catastrophe where, like you said, they were outplayed or there were any alarm bells ringing. I felt, early in the season, I think that was the second game of the season. So I felt, still betting in, stuff like that. And I agree with you. I think that your performances, your general play, your ability to fashion chances has been quite decent. It's just your conversion rate that's poor. And I've been saying that for about 2-3 years. And as I said, I keep on religiously saying, the fact that Pep's Man City exists in this era means that, and they tend to score about 100 plus goals a season. So it means that if you want to win something league-wise or, at least challenge, you have to score. It's not enough just to keep clean sheets. You have to be scoring heavily. So until you guys address that problem, that issue in front of goal, then, this will be a similar trend.
Yeah.
Where you're lamenting games that you should have gotten something from and didn't.
And that's where my disappointment is. I remember last season, it was tough to watch Chelsea. It was like, you look at us on the pitch and we look so devoid of ideas. We look like crap. We look poor. And that's the disappointment with this season. We haven't looked poor. And I saw this debate. I've been actually seeing the debate recently about who's in a bigger mess right now, Chelsea or Manchester United. And a lot of people like to call Chelsea because we spent £1 billion or whatever. But I still feel like the right building blocks are there. The signs are there that if we could score goals, it would solve our problems. I think that where we are right now in the league is just a reflection of the fact that we are not converting chances. When I don't always like to look at stats because stats can be misleading. But there's some stats that show that Chelsea's not doing as bad as the league table says. Like, I think if we converted most of our big chances, we would be easily in top 4. Right now, we are like in the bottom 3 for our conversion rate, and that's poor. It is poor. So it's tough, but for me, I am willing to have patience because I see the progress is there, but we need to be winning against Villa, Forest, and Brentford at home. We need to be winning those games. 100%.
Fair enough.
And Liverpool and Arsenal. And that's the other frustrating thing, Honestly, all right, let me not go to Liverpool.
I mean,
but Arsenal game.
Wait. I'm not crossing you. But I really wanted to shift gears. Before we came on here, you gave me that whole rhetoric about, really want to talk about football, but you want to go on about Chelsea and where you should have won. But fair enough. Yes, you were, granted, right? I would have said the first game of the season against Liverpool, I think for the first half an hour, it was a better team. I think for the rest of the other 70 minutes rather, they belong to you. I'll give it that. I was happy to take the point, considering that, I really was overrun for all of that second half. Let's be honest. Against Arsenal, I was out, so I didn't get to see the entire game. But I have not a troll. It's not about you, but as a Chelsea fan, you mentioned his name earlier. I got a voice note. Theatrics. Chelsea this and Chelsea that. This before a ball was kicked in the morning, actually. Telling me, talking to himself, telling me about what Chelsea can do. Felt confident. First goal, man, he called me. Starting the problem. Right after half, let me hear, Mudryk, man, Michaela Mudryk. I said, all right. And then I raised the game and then I didn't see the call for him, man. I didn't see a message.
Oh, gosh.
I took out you always got my data on. I got my phone and check the BBC. I see 2-all. I said, whoa, okay. My picky teeth. I mean, but nevertheless, again, you were winning with 10 minutes to go. Normal
Comfortably.
time.
Arsenal, we completely nullified Arsenal. Arsenal were not a serious threat in that game at all until Robert Sanchez, who has been good for the most part, had one of his brain farts and kick a ball straight to Declan Rice. Obviously, that galvanized them. And from then on, I knew they were going to equalize.
But the thing is, right, obvious. I think what caused that, because, yeah, I think you guys did well. You guys negated the threat of Arsenal. And you carried the threat yourself. You were the better team. For Arsenal, a bit off color too.
Yeah, and I think we should have. Nicholas Jackson had a chance where I think he made the wrong decision. So before Arsenal scored their first goal, we could have had 3.
But I think where that came about from was the fact that because you haven't been rolling the wins.
Yes.
I feel as though with the nature of the goal, especially with the keeper making a vital mistake, a crucial error, I felt as though it then caused Stamford Bridge to become a bit nervy. Arsenal fed off of that.
Yeah, 100%.
And Arsenal chased the equalizer. And then even when it got the equalizer, it then kind of became of, can Arsenal go and get the winner? Which would have been really, really harsh on you guys. So
honestly, if that happened, I would not have watched football for the rest of the season.
Fair enough.
Honestly. Because the frustrating thing about that draw is that all I'm hearing now is about Arsenal mentality. But it wasn't about Arsenal's mentality. It was more about Chelsea's poor mentality that allowed Arsenal back into the game. So when I look at those games, those are 5 home games that I just called that probably should have yielded 3 points each. I mean, for me, you mentioned that we were the better team for majority of the game against Liverpool, but Darwin Núñez had a chance at the end of the game, a nice curling shot where he could have easily stolen the game, and that's the difference between teams and Chelsea. Teams, even when they're playing bad, could still pop out 1 or 2 goals and maybe draw and win a game. Chelsea doesn't do that, and that's the problem.
Well, to piggyback off of what you said in terms of teams, even though they haven't played well or might be on the caution, might pop up with a winning goal.
We're talking about Man United now, aren't we?
No, we aren't.
Oh.
Let's turn our attention to another team
even worse.
who have been, there've been moments where...
Start this agenda again.
Where there have been a slightly suspect, but have found a way to come out on top. Talking about Spurs. Not so Spurs this season, are they? Tottenham, who I used to affectionately call two things a ham, but I have to walk that back. But Tottenham are at top of the table after 10 games. And I know because I would have sat amongst some Tottenham fans on Friday at a popular establishment, and they sang songs, they were up in arms. You know, the babies went up in the ear of Marissa. You would not have believed it. But yeah, Tottenham are leading the table, and it seems as if confidence and belief is growing that Tottenham can sustain the title challenge this year.
They won't.
And I suspect that if they get 3 points this coming Monday.
But you see, I know, not to go back to Chelsea, but it kind of fits the point you're trying to make about Spurs. What I don't like about, and to me, the media is clear that they have agendas. I saw, what was it? A stat today posted by Sky Sports about the injuries that a specific team has. Cannot remember who the team is right now, you know. I don't know if it's Man U or some other team.
It probably is Man U, because I think Man U has a lot of injuries.
Right. We have more injuries than any other Premier League club right now. And we have injuries to key players. I guarantee this season would have been different for Chelsea if Nkunku was fit from the beginning. Guaranteed. Me, you yourself, we had a conversation during preseason. You yourself was talking about how good we looked in preseason and stuff like that. And that was because he was a key part of that. So the reason why I brought that up is that, one, people are not acknowledging that Chelsea actually has a lot of key players out. And two, key injuries to 2 of Spurs' main men this season, Son and Maddison. And it's a different story. So that's why I don't think Spurs has the depth of squad to sustain a title charge. I think they're playing really, really well because their first 11 is playing really well. They're gelling together. Maddison fit in there like a glove.
Mm-hmm.
But if he barely get injured or Son pick up a little niggle, I think they'll struggle.
I think they'll struggle based on who they're playing. I think Spurs are good enough that they'll beat a few of those teams in the bottom to mid table relatively even without the key players.
But you take out Madison and Son, you take out most of their goal contributions this season.
Yeah, because those are the ones that are starting. But I think if you take out Son and you replace him with who else Spurs got? Richarlison. Who else?
Who plays on the wing? So who's going to replace Son up front?
Richarlison will go through the middle. Somebody, probably Johnson or somebody switch to the wing. It's fixable. It's Kulusevski. Bentancur just came back. I think that for example, if they miss Son against Wolves or Luton or somebody, that I think that depends on who their opponent is. They can still pick up points. I agree. I don't think Spurs have the depth of squad to sustain the challenge over 38 games.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the fact, just with me, I like the fact that Tottenham fans are buoyant. It feels new. Because
the higher the climb, the harder you fall?
No, not at all. I mean, that might be true for you. Like, honestly, right? Because in nature of my defeat to Tottenham, yes, personally, I feel as though I owe them one. And I promised a Tottenham fan the other day that I, give them that one that I owe them before the season is out. Because I like to pay my receipts, relatively quickly. So I'm patiently waiting on that, on their visit to Anfield. But nevertheless, I think I honestly feel and I think since we've been doing the podcast, I guess my overview has changed, where I feel as though the more teams up there, the better for me, the more entertaining.
Fair enough. Yeah. But I still have to give Jackie Jacket. I think Andrew's doing a great job with them. I think the mentality is totally different. And I have to say, I didn't give Tottenham a prayer when they lost Harry Kane, to be honest. But he's doing a great job at that football club. And I think the good thing about him is that he's added some good personnel, yes, but he didn't really have to do a major overhaul of the squad because Spurs had decent players. Some just needed to get in the bin, like Eric Dyer and Davinson Sanchez. Mickey Van de Ven has been great for them. I've never seen him before, but he looks so assured and he is quick. I mean, wow. But
Ange kind of like playing the guys that I felt should be in the team.
From like the Bazuma,
for example.
Yeah, agreed.
Exactly. And I think the signings that they've made, Madison, Johnson, Stroud, Sir, what a fight.
It's not a new signing, I found that
he playing late one. He is playing late one.
Because I saw him in a few appearances. Because I remember after the World Cup, he's
You're right. Yes, right? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, when did he move to Spurs?
Yeah, you're right. You're correct.
But he is playing like a new signing. He looks fantastic in that midfield.
The left back, in Dogi. Good player as well. Right, good player as well. So
the additions have been
very, very clever signings.
Yeah.
And like you said, they've kind of phased out the ones who
who shouldn't have been. Yeah.
Who maybe just need a fresh start.
Yeah.
I think Derek has been at Tottenham for a very long time. Yeah. Had about 10 years at least.
No.
So yeah. And people like Davinson Sanchez and those guys, who phase them out a little bit. Make the team a bit younger, more energetic. Yeah. All right. So Tottenham. So we kind of agree that Tottenham will be at least still in top 4 race, hopefully. Yeah. And I think the fact that they don't have any European football and they can prepare for their favor, for league games on a weekly basis. Yeah. I think that should help in terms of injuries and even recovery from games. All right. Now we need to turn our attention to the Manchester teams. Not really teams. I guess we don't really have much to add. What can you say about City? City or City. United. Did you watch the game on Sunday against the Derby?
I watched the last half hour after I got home from church. But I missed the first 2 goals, saw the third goal. United are United. I've actually watched most of United games this season. I can't sit here and tell you one game that I can genuinely think United deserve to win. Genuinely. Honestly. And it being real. And being facetious. Maybe Forest. Forest scored their 2 goals a little too early. and it gave United a chance to come back.
Mm-hmm.
But then even after it was 3-2, I felt like Forest could have still got an equalizer.
Right.
United have been one of the poorest side this season, but they've escaped with some jammy wins.
Mm-hmm.
Late goals against Brentford to win that game. A late goal against Sheffield, a screamer from Dallo. Well, I could generally say maybe they deserve to win that game. I don't think Sheffield posed much of a threat after like 30 minutes. So maybe that one. I give them that. You know how I feel about the Wolves game? Wolves absolutely battered them. Who else they played? Burnley played well, but like Chelsea, Burnley's issues is scoring goals. Who else did United play? Brighton beat them. Spurs beat them. Arsenal beat them.
Okay, you're correct. They haven't been convincing even in the games that they've won.
Yeah.
But I just mentioned about, the more teams that you thought actually being competitively better of a season we will have.
Mm-hmm.
The more talking points we will have.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for someone like me who came up when United were dominant, I have a serious problem with how far they have fallen. And here's why. I think world football, same with Liverpool when we were struggling, same with Arsenal when Arsenal were struggling to a certain degree. Football is better when these teams are, competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Manchester United, I keep on hearing the pundits say, for example, that there's no real identity, there's no pattern of play,
mm-hmm.
yada yada yada. That that they can decipher from what Man U are trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep asking myself if they are blind. The pattern is clear. Man U do have a style and a pattern on their Ten Hag.
Mm-hmm. I
don't know if people try to pretend that they can't see it. You can't see it. The problem is that it's not working. It's not effective. The players are not, what's the word, implementing his ideas efficiently. That's because, for example, if you compare City and Man U on Sunday,
mm-hmm.
you have one team who's very organized before the ball and with the ball, mm-hmm. and you have another team who are not
mm-hmm.
in every phase of the game. They're not good.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the problem. That's what it might look like. Okay, what are they trying to do? Man U was trying to force the ball at the right-hand side the whole game. I couldn't get it do. I could not get it do. Forcing the ball, there were times where the ball went right back, and Fernandes made a run. Dalla dilly-dally. And by the time he played the ball, Fernandes is offside.
Mm-hmm.
And when that didn't work, long diagonal ball to Rashford on the left.
Mm-hmm.
You played Lindelof at left back, so he doesn't have a left foot, so it kind of narrows the pitch, which means that you have to rotate the ball and bring it back around to the right hand side.
Strange decision that, but anyways, I'll let you continue.
Right, and then the other problem is that, for example, City ran the same pattern about 3 or 5 times in that game, 4 or 5 times in that game, which is that Haaland moving up to the middle to create space for Foden to come inside, and mm-hmm. So what City are doing is that City are playing little triangles and getting the ball to the left hand side, because ultimately where City prefer to attack. And you have Manchester United, who clearly it seems the plan is that we want to come down the right hand side, but they are unable to play those or create those triangles where they can play the ball and create an overload and then switch it.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, Harry Maguire or somebody go try to send the ball 30 or 40 yards to the right hand side, to try to create a 2v1. It's the same style, the same pattern of play that Ole kind of was playing. It's just that Ole was coming down the left hand side as opposed to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what to tell you. I said last season that on the Ten Hag the performances weren't good.
Mm-hmm.
I said so.
I
sit down and watch this team. I know the type of football Man U to play. That's very disappointing. Man U want to play the same, like I tell you, force the ball down a particular way and try to create overload,
mm-hmm.
or Man U want to play transition football. But you see that can't come and work every week against City. You want to know why? Because when City on it, like they were on Sunday, I know people say, well, for the first half, Man U did well to at least contain them, and the penalty was kind of soft. I agree. It was a soft penalty,
mm-hmm.
in my humble opinion. But City don't usually give away the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can force them to lose possession or win it back, then you can't really get the ball in those areas to play that transition football, because Man U won't come to attack quickly. Man U good at that. Rashford, that's where Rashford will come alive, where you win the ball in transition and the team open. Because if you lose the ball at the wrong moment, a close friend of mine taught me this. Defense starts the moment you lose the ball. Attack starts the moment you win it. So when you lose the ball in a vulnerable position that happened a couple seasons ago, Man U could then one pass with Fernandes or Rashford and get in at them. that didn't really happen because Man U struggled to get back the ball. Amrabat was anonymous. Ericsson could get back the ball. Ericsson was actually coming as the deepest lane midfielder to pick up the ball at times. And maybe it's lack of trust, lack of confidence, but they weren't giving him the ball. The ball was actually bypassing him and going to Fernandes, or I think you have Scott McTominay, who I don't know what he's trying to do. He just kind of drifting behind the lanes, but he didn't really stand in a position where he could get the ball. And again, I beg viewers to go and watch Scott McTominay, watch his highlights. McTominay, and I mean this with all due respect, has to be one of the worst players I've ever seen play for Manchester United. Because I think, Messi, I know he's not in the same class as Messi, obviously, but Messi would be like the poster boy for this. Before you get the ball, if anybody watches Lionel Messi closely, left, right, down the field, what am I going to do with it before I receive it? Have a picture of it feeling in my head. Scott gets the ball in one little room. I mean, he's a man.
And that leads me nicely into my point about Manchester United. Ten Hag's selections of late have been baffling. Like, you bringing Reguilon as cover for your two injured left backs. Why are you playing Victor Lindelof at left back? I get Lindelof playing right back because he's played that before, but why is Lindelof playing left back? He said tactical decisions. McTominay he scored 2 jammy goals against Brentford. He scored 1 against Sheffield.
What do you call him, jammy?
He scored 2 goals against Brentford. He scored 1 against Sheffield. Does that mean he deserves a start in the Manchester Derby when he's been crap for God knows how long? Like, I don't know what he's doing with his selections. He spent £55 million for a Mason Mount and can't fit it in the team. Like, I don't know. I could see that smile on your face. I don't know what Ten Hag is doing. I don't know.
Listen, I can be real. I feel as though Man U's problems, I've always said, have been like a steady continuation from the last manager.
It's true.
Van Gaal spent money. The players that Van Gaal brought the team didn't work out because I guess the narrative was Van Gaal isn't playing Man United style of football, exciting football, you know. And they were just using buzzwords, really.
Yeah.
We create chaos in the last 10 minutes. There's no energy, blah, blah. What does that mean? What? Wait, I'm being very serious.
Oh, gosh.
What does that mean? My goodness. All right. We fast forward to Jose Mourinho. It's always interesting that, and I keep on saying, when these players were saying, nobody said, no, apart from Mason Mount, I would have probably done that. But apart from that, nobody took out the phone and called me and said, you believe man, you saying this, buddy? That's so much trash. No one said that. Everybody was looking at it like, okay, this is a good squad. But it's like you have a collection of players and there's no cohesiveness among them. I think Ten Hag gave an interview after the game saying that he can't play the style of football at Ajax at Manchester United because he doesn't have the players for it. Granted, he said one true thing, which is that your style needs to be determined by the players that you have. But are these players actually right now? I think Ryan said it earlier too. The players are actually kind of like, it's kind of disjointed because the profiles of players that they have isn't really conducive to. I can't think of a style. What style would Man U ideally play for you? If you got to pick one.
Counter-attack football.
Okay, so transition football.
Yeah.
Good, perfect. But you know what made me laugh as well? It's like Jose wanted Harry Maguire when no one signed him. He failed Jose. Bring Solskjaer, give him. It's like, okay, I agree with the pundits about one thing. There doesn't seem to be a clear plan.
Yeah.
You pick Ten Hag, you got to give him time. I keep on advocating that managers need time. You mentioned selections. Me personally, I tell you what it is. I just don't think Reguilon has convinced. Simple as that.
Hasn't been awful though. Well, Reguilon has always been good going forward. Defensively, he's a bit of a.
He hasn't really convinced. I think that's where it stems from. Rafa Varane's omission.
Strange.
I think, not to me. I think that's an example of Ten Hag basically saying, I'm not satisfied with what you have been giving me.
Okay, and he's satisfied with what Rashford has been giving him?
That's different. Who can replace Rashford?
Yeah, but
Garnacho?
Actually, that's not a bad shout though, because Garnacho has actually been decent when he's come off the bench. Why not give him?
In fact, he's got the odd goal.
Wait, so why not give him?
He's got the odd jammy goal, yes.
So why not give him a chance?
I will keep referring to him. Maybe you could argue, he didn't start. Okay, a couple things happened in the game that I didn't agree with. I watched the game at establishment again.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that I watched the game said to me, if I was Ten Hag, what would I do? And he said, I have to change the outcome. I said, you have Ramos Holland, who's 6 foot odd up front.
Mm-hmm.
You have Rashford, you have Fernandez. Go direct.
Mm-hmm.
Ten Hag spoke about going direct. So it's kind of like a mixed approach, because sometimes he does go direct. Other times there's an attempt to try to work the ball into certain areas. Cool. But I'm going to predominantly go direct and try to win the second ball and make the game scrappy.
Mm-hmm.
So, because clearly Man U were not able to play through City.
Mm-hmm.
So I can go over the press of City and then ask Ramos, Højlund, for example, to try to win a couple of flick-ons. Mm-hmm. He's not going to win everyone because City don't play with 4 centre-backs. Speaking of, not having left backs, City don't play with 4 centre-backs. Well, technically 3, because Kyle Walker played right back.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be a bit more challenging to do that, but I'm going to try to go over direct and try to get the ball as fast as possible into the final third of City and see if I can win a knockdown, see if we get flick-ons, something. That would have been my plan. Instead, what Ten Hag did, because his substitutions is where he thought he let himself down. So he took off Amrabat. Granted, he didn't have a good first half, but he took him off.
Right. Put McTominay there.
Right, and then you brought on Mount.
Mm-hmm. Who didn't really...
Mount didn't touch the ball.
I in that half I watched, I didn't even know he was on the pitch.
Mount didn't touch the ball. Did not touch the ball. But I mean, that's Mason Mount for you. I've said religiously that Mason Mount ain't no good.
Well,
I don't rate Mason Mount highly.
We had a conversation over the summer, and I told you I think that I don't think Mason Mount is a bad player, but I'm not going to lie, I do think that he was a bit overhyped by Chelsea fans and the media.
You think?
And I think that, anyways, whatever.
Yeah, but...
That's a whole other conversation.
To address Manu's problems, we need to dedicate a whole show to Manu.
It's true.
But honestly, right, as I said, it's just a succession. I think the problem with Manu is that you've kept buying players.
Yeah.
Expensive players. For managers, sat the managers.
Then the other manager got the problem.
I think that I keep on saying, Jeremy Carragher made this point, and I keep on saying, the question that we should answer for all Man U managers is, why hasn't these players improved upon under you?
Exactly. Actually, they go to Man U and look worse.
Exactly, because when they come to Man U, nobody's saying that these guys are bad players.
Yeah.
But the performances of Man U have been underwhelming.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, Sancho. You mean to tell me that Ten Hag can't get more okay him?
Oh, we need to have a show about that. Ten Hag can't get no OT club, man.
Right? Anthony, 82 million or pounds or what's not he cost. Has his return performances haven't set the world late either. Who else, man? You got Ericsson over 30, kind of on his way down. Casemiro over 30. People are asking whether or not he's on his way down. I don't know. Varane, again, maybe kind of to the toilet.
Højlund might be a good signing, though.
Højlund might be a good signing.
Yeah.
But you can't prove it in this team. Because this team doesn't really... Like I said, the style that Ten Hag is trying to play, it's clear to see what it is. It's just that it's not organized. But because, for example, I watched Liverpool earlier in the day against Nottingham. Granted, it's Nottingham, that city. Fair enough. But when you have the ball, there still have to be a level of compactness so that when the guy gets the ball, possession can make options. Mm-hmm. There were 2 good passes that Man U played, one in first half, one in second half. The one in first half was the one where Rashford just swing the ball with left foot into McTominay. And the ball's bouncing and McTominay, get off a quick shot.
Yeah.
But McTominay didn't really aim anywhere. He just tried to get a good connection. Mm-hmm. Hoping that the pace of the shot would beat Edison. All right. That draw save, fine. There was another one in second half where I think Ericsson finally got a ball and played it into Rashford, and Rashford kind of delayed the shot, which allowed Walker kind of bypass him, and then he tried the shot, just screwed it wide. Cool. There were but if you look at the other times where we were actually able to play through City. It happened a couple of occasions where Maguire made some good passes through the lanes. I brought the lanes. When Rashford gets the ball, immediately 2 or 3 City players are on Rashford.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have Annie wide out or Mason out there over yonder, and Holland over yonder. So you doesn't have any options on the ball.
Yeah.
You have to have a level of compactness without the ball and with the ball.
Yeah.
So, because every possession, Rashford is supposed to beat 2 or 3 people.
True. Fair enough.
So, again, it's about organization. Does Ten Hag need more time on the training field? Definitely. By all looks of it. I think his biggest issue is midfield. He has to get the balance in there, right? Okay, granted, right now I think Casemiro's injured.
I don't know what's going on with
And I think Amrabat are suspended 1 and 2, and Amrabat. So they haven't been able to play together.
Right. Well, I guess we'll see how that goes with United.
But he has to bite the bullet though. And when I say bite the bullet, this is what I mean. Leave out McTominay. Say 2 holders together, right? And play Bruno as a 10. Bite the bullet.
But where does that leave his 55 million signing?
We don't care. you want to win or what? If anything, right? If Massimo is a getting team, he will have a getting team in one way forward areas.
Well, now that's not where he want to play though. But hey,
well, if he want to play, he should have gone to a mid-table team like Villa and somewhere he could start.
That whole Mount signing is a whole other conversation. But for right now, we have other things on the show to discuss.
All right.
So let's go to the leaderboard for this week. Some predictions. I didn't really feel like predicting card. Do you want to predict the Carabao Cup?
No.
Okay, good.
We can go straight to league.
Yes. All right. So speaking of the devil, oh gosh, the clock's gone back.
Yeah.
I hate that, I like my 7:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. and
it's true.
Yeah, but 8:30 on Saturday, Man United away at Fulham.
I'll go 2-1 Mayo. Yeah, because I still fancy them against the lesser teams to net something. Right time, how there should be a reaction.
Fulham can't score goals. But
That's
Man
true.
United ain't playing well. 1-1.
Okay. I'm going 2-1.
You still doing these West Ham predictions?
Who has something?
Brentford.
No, you don't have to.
City at home to Bournemouth.
City at home to Bournemouth. Oh dear. We don't really need to predict this. I'll go 4-0. City.
I'll go 3.
Okay.
3-0. I was tempted to go 5, but it might be a bit excessive. Newcastle at home to Arsenal.
Oh, yeah. Saturday, right? Late kickoff on Saturday.
Yeah.
1:30. I'm gonna go 1-0.
2-1 Newcastle.
Ooh. Where did that come from?
I could see that I ain't getting none of these. I doing some real crazy predictions.
It's okay, keep it going.
Oh gosh, trying to win
surprise yourself.
Trying to win my advantage.
You might surprise yourself.
I might. Liverpool away to Luton.
Oh Lord.
Really?
No, because sorry.
Could be anything, right?
I started to fantasize just now. No, it could be anything. I just meant in terms of I wish it was there. Anyhow, nevertheless, I'll go 3-0 Liverpool.
I'll go 4. And the big one, Spurs at home to Chelsea.
Okay. Spurs at home to Chelsea.
Woo!
Spurs at home to Chelsea?
Yeah. Woo!
2-1 Spurs.
Woo! 2-1 Chelsea.
Okay. I like what we don't eat crow.
No. Because see that I ain't get 1 point on the board this week though. I'm doing the most junk. But anyways, trust in the gut. So let's switch our attention to...
Before we do that, remember a word from our sponsors, no?
Oh, yes. A word from our sponsors. Look how you being on the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we take a quick break for a word from our sponsors.
I want to drink some water, too.
Whole Health Pharmacy, located in Jordan's Complex, Speightstown, St. Peter, carries a variety of products to take care of you and your health. Essential oils, muscle rubs, and the run-of-the-mill medications. And definitely don't forget your vitamins. Vinci sea salt, air humidifiers, tumblers, and women's havens pads too. We got it all for you. Don't forget your Barbados and natural Vinci snacks. So for sure you're gonna keep coming back. Ever hear about structured water? Well, tell your son, tell your daughter. Whole Health Pharmacy. More than a pharmacy, we take care of you and your health.
Right, and we're back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so time for the cricket. Some cricket, sorry.
Cricket has been lovely.
The World Cup. Yes. There's no better place to start than the impending elimination for Marissa, at least. Mm-hmm. The impending elimination of the defending champions, the reigning, defending, undisputed World Cup champions, England cricket team.
I can send shot a picture with I don't know if England playing before the podcast come out, but I can send shot a picture of the table where you can see England at the bottom. Like, what a sight that is.
Yeah, good point. No, we should.
The bad side.
We should send some pictures. True.
Yeah.
But anyhow, Yeah.
England have been horrible.
Yeah, they have.
Like,
I didn't see this coming.
I didn't either. And nobody, if anybody say that they could not see England in the top four, they'd be lying.
Right.
I told you my concern. We pick our top four. We both had England there. Mm-hmm. And I told you my only concern with England is their bowling. But their batting has been terrible. 170 against South Africa all out, chasing 400. 156 all out against Sri Lanka. Who was the last game they played? India, 129 or something, so all out chasing 229. Like,
yeah. But I knew that they weren't going to get those runs against India. So I knew that before.
Me too. Like, but you saw the game though, like, on Sunday against India.
I saw some of it.
Like, that was probably the best England have bowled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. In a while. Mm-hmm. Actually.
For the tournament.
Yeah, for the tournament. Because New Zealand let them down, South Africa let them down, for the tournament. So, it should have galvanized the batters, and they started well. But one wicket, bring 2 and 3. What had me right? And I can talk about this again. I know there are a lot of theories. I say again because we talk about it before we come on here. There are a lot of theories behind England thing. But my thing is arrogance. What's symptomatic of that arrogance is Joe Root dismissal against India. You saw it?
No.
I get ready for church. Darren Manan had just get up. Joe Root walked across his stumps and tried to flip Boomer in the light side. The man was plumber than a plumber fixing the St. Andrew. The man was plum. The man reviewed.
I think I saw a dismissal. Yeah. That was like, when I saw it real time, I was like, I'm all out though. Yeah. I remember saw that.
A replay to see that was there. He reviewed it, and it's not the review that I found was arrogant. It was the reaction after, because it showed a small spike, but that was not an edge, because there was a spike before the ball passed the bar and as the ball was passing by. It wasn't like a spike that indicates an edge. It was almost like he spiked scraping the ground or some sort of noise.
Right.
And he was so upset that he was giving out, because in his mind, he hit it. He didn't hit that. If he had hit that, he would have reviewed the same time and not going out telling Bairstow, I should review this. Even when you look at Joe Root's hand signals, he's gesturing that he thinks the ball is going on like so. Like, it's just the arrogance of, like, I just think this side is playing, and you said it before we came on, I agreed. They felt like they can just cobble together their stars and go there and play, because they're the defending champions. They've reinvented white ball cricket, and that's it. Yeah. But when that's what the team. But when you look at it, this excuse of, we don't play enough one-day cricket, I'm not buying that crap, because they had a series against New Zealand. All their stars play, and all of them decided to skip the Ireland series. Only Joe Root decided to play because he felt he was out of form and he needed some time in the middle. But it's your fault that you don't play enough one-day cricket. You decide that you're going to play all sorts of T20 leagues, and put it all starts the second string sides and then we'll come to the World Cup and play. It don't work so. If you look at it, we talked about it when the World Cup started. This World Cup is open. Anybody could be anybody. You see Afghanistan in the mix for a semi-final spot because they're playing good cricket. You can't expect to just come and think that because we name England, we could just put up whatever side we can and we can win. It don't work so. And I think the reason why they find themselves bottom of the table is because they have this level of hubris and arrogance that they think they're the shiznit and they just got to turn up and win games. That's just how I see it. End of rant.
End of rant?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, can't really follow that. You said all that needs to be said. I mean, England have been poor. Their batters haven't performed, and that was the part of their side that I felt was a strong point. Because I think I said it earlier when we previewed the tournament, that the reason that I had England in the top 4 to begin with was because I felt as though their backline was so strong that no total could have been deemed out of reach.
Agreed.
But boy, was I wrong.
I mean, the only team that they have scored 300 against is the worst team of the tournament, which is Bangladesh. That's the only game they've won. In fact, we talk about all these upsets. I feel like it's an upset that Bangladesh beat Afghanistan the way Bangladesh play. Yeah. Bangladesh have been horrible.
I mean, we're focusing on England, staying with them. I feel as though because, like you said, because their talent pool is what they deem to be high and plentiful, they feel as if whoever they select should be able to perform. Because your name is Ben Stokes, because your name is Joe Root, because your name is Josh Butler or Johnny Bairstow, for example, you can just turn it on and perform at a high level. And that is being indicative by their preparation for a tournament. When you actually look beyond the surface in the because when they start losing games, then you start to wonder why, and you read things like you realize that a lot of their personnel in the squad haven't played together or played 50 over cricket.
What was the stat you gave?
Quite some time.
You told me a stat before we came out here.
Oh yeah, I think the 42 they played 42 games since the last World Cup win, and a lot of their starting 11 hasn't featured in a lot of those games. I think last tour they played Ireland, and who they played before Ireland?
New Zealand,
right? The Ireland game, many players skipped to go and play franchise cricket. So I mean, you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
If that's your approach, and you felt as if franchise cricket was more important than playing for your country or what's not, then by all means.
Yeah, I just find it interesting that, and this is a segue, but there's a lot of talk of these multi-year deals that countries are offering players to ward off multi-year contract deals. And I remember when West Indies started that whole franchise bowl, our players used to get cussed left, right, center, up, down, whenever. But now people are kind of understanding that this is money. This is life-changing money for players. And England and Australia have taken steps to ward off the thing. But at the end of the day, they still allow their players to go and play the franchise cricket because they know it's a great opportunity. So then, like you say, you reap what you sow. Don't blame the infrastructure. Don't blame that. There's nobody's fault that you have not played enough one-day cricket with your main 11 leading up to this tournament, but yours. It's no one else's fault.
But something that I would say as well, I feel as though would have been to England's detriment. And it's this. I think the World Cup they won 4 years ago, that was their first ever World Cup history. I think they were
that
hungry.
jammy World Cup win.
It was at home. They were hungry. I think when Morgan's captaincy was a big part of their victory as well, because I felt as though he was the kind of captain that really had everybody pulling in the same direction as, this World Cup, this historic victory is our goal.
Yeah.
And I feel as though kind of feel like in this tournament, not saying that they did not want to win, but it felt as though I don't think that hunger, that desire to really go for it and pull as a collective was there. It almost feels like everybody's doing their own thing, kind of thing. I don't know, it feels kind of like, it doesn't feel like the team is as together as it was under Morgan.
Morgan alluded to that, and the coach rubbish it and say, we as together it comes. Who knows? I don't know what's going to be behind the scenes, but let's think too. Look at the situation with Ben Stokes. It's like, England are very over-reliant on Ben Stokes to win games in all formats of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Ben Stokes retired from ODI cricket just after he got a test captaincy because he wanted to prolong his test career.
Right.
All of a sudden, now you're calling Ben Stokes out to ODI retirement to come get the band back together, so to speak, to come to a World Cup. I mean, to me, those sort of things reap up arrogance too. It's like, okay, Ben Stokes is Ben Stokes, let me get him back in his side. But come on, he has not played a lot of one-day cricket. I think he only came back for the New Zealand series, and which he played really well in. But I just think their whole attitude kind of stinks. And, you know, the same could be said for Australia in terms of they haven't played a lot of ODI cricket with their main side. And they started off with 2 losses. But look at how they've turned it around. You could see a totally different... When you look at Australia's last 4 games that they've won, the mentality is totally different from England's. It's like, they were in a more precarious situation because at least England had won 1, lost 1. Australia had lost both and was really under the pump in their 3rd game against Sri Lanka till Sri Lanka collapsed. But they became the first team to score 3 consecutive 350-plus scores in the World Cup. They turned it around because I think, like you pointed out, they're kind of all pulling in the same direction. And you just wonder if England is just... that's why even though the coach rubbish there, I do understand where Owen Morgan is coming from when he alluded to that.
Right.
So, but that's enough about England. I think the top 4 will stay the same because right now it's India, South Africa, New Zealand and Australia. Yeah, not in that order because I think Australia is 3rd. New Zealand.
Australia 4th.
Australia 3rd. Australia should be above New Zealand now. Oh no, yeah, you're right. Australia 4th. Yeah. Big game tomorrow, New Zealand, South Africa. New Zealand kind of dodgy because they lost 2 in a row. Could be 3 in a row tomorrow. Who knows? A word on New Zealand though. Almost chased on 388 against. That was a great game.
Yeah.
Like that. Honestly, that was a fantastic chase. That was a tough loss for New Zealand. I thought they chased those runs perfectly. Just fell short at the end. That full toss, that start Bolton Nisham at the end, that could have gone anywhere. But yeah, that I think New Zealand are playing really well. South Africa versus New Zealand is going to be a good game tomorrow, I feel. A part of me wants New Zealand. Like, honestly, these are 2 teams that I want to win the World Cup. South Africa and New Zealand. Obviously, both can't win, but either are.
Right.
But I wouldn't mind New Zealand to win tomorrow to kind of take pressure off of their game against Sri Lanka, because Sri Lanka could be a jammy side when they're ready. Although Afghanistan kind of breezed past them the other day. But I think New Zealand needs a win more than South Africa because New Zealand has Sri Lanka and I think another tough game to finish. I think Australia has England, Afghanistan. I think Afghanistan is going to be tricky for Australia. Australia do not play Spain well at all. If you look at their game against New Zealand, when I got out and checked the score, they were 175 after 19 overs and get bowled for 388, and they got stuck in the middle. They always get stuck in the middle. And I think if Afghanistan bat first and put on a good total, I think they could do to Australia what they did to England. So I think Australia might be the only dodgy team there because I think England might get themselves up for the Australia game. I feel they might.
I think
they still got murmurs about what happened to Johnny Bairstow and the stumping fan. I don't know why they can't let that go, but hey, yeah. They're still talking about that, you know. They're still talking about it. Stuart brought a whole interview with Simon Jordan.
But Cameron Green, right?
It was Alex Carey, the wicket.
Oh yeah, Alex Carey, my bad. Right, Alex Carey. I'm gonna say Cameron Green for.
Bairstow was doozy.
Scary. Yeah, exactly. It was like a substantial amount of time pass. He just moment behind him and he walked out the crease.
And they're still getting on about it. So I think England. I would be surprised if England would not get, to be honest. But
he didn't want stumping.
He did. So I think the World Cup is definitely going to throw up some surprises. I think for me, I know Pakistan won today, but I don't think Pakistan are in it. I think Pakistan are far too inconsistent. I think I would not if Afghanistan beats Australia. I think it's Sunday or Monday coming. I think that could be a key game. But tomorrow I would like New Zealand to win to take the pressure off of them a bit. I want my South Africa win because I want them to go far. But I think the top 4 as is will remain the same. And as we know, the top 8 go through the Champions Trophy. We know that automatically excludes West Indies because we in it. Right. But I think England might struggle too. England have Australia. England are currently 10th. They have Australia next, then Netherlands, then Pakistan.
Right.
I am not even going to put England as a banker to beat the Netherlands. I'm sorry.
Interesting.
I think Netherlands are playing good cricket.
Yeah, they're.
And I think they're confident, and they are a team that are pulling together. So I don't know. I think the World Cup has been great. Like I think I said 2 weeks ago, I've just enjoyed watching the cricket without having a horse that I'm emotionally attached to. Rest in peace, West Indies. But you know.
Yeah, but we're hosting the World T20 next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. But beyond that, West Indies will play another World Cup because I believe that
Really, I hear the format dying. That's another thing too. There are all these conversations around the death of ODI cricket, and I remember, again, not to bring this up again about England, but it's the arrogance for me. Like at the beginning of the World Cup, Joe Root was talking about, he got his sights set on the 2027 World Cup and stuff like that. All of a sudden, England lost a couple matches. Oh, well, we haven't know where the format going anyway, so what is it on my face? State like that. But it's like, you got your eyes set on the 2027 World Cup, and now all of a sudden you're talking about, the format dying. Like,
well, the 2027 World Cup will have 14 teams.
If it happens.
It's going anyway, it will happen. It's going to have 14 teams, so it's already locked in. It's going to have 14 teams, and if West Indies can't qualify for 14 for the 14-team tournament, then there really is no hope. So we'll play the next World Cup.
Joe, watching these sides in the World Cup is actually reminding me of how far behind we're falling. And that's
we have 4 years to get ready.
All right, you?
Yeah, but I mean, technically, I think like the planning, having missed out actually, for early in the year, but we didn't qualify for the tournament. Having missed out the planning to address that situation should have started. I would hope. Right? WICB. I would hope.
Well, judging from the quality and standard of the current 50 over competition we got going on, I say a man like Andrew Flasher taking wickets. Andrew, he's a wicket keeper that is 39 years old. Like, what does that say about our cricket?
Experience.
And you're barely 300 is like par now. You ever seeing them sort of totals? The highest wicket takers are all spinners. Like, I just worried about West Indies cricket. I'm sorry, I am. Like, genuinely am. And I see teams like Netherlands playing the way they're playing. Afghanistan look like a side that is going to be tough to beat. Like, I don't know, boy. But I enjoy my cricket. That's the most important thing, right?
I suppose so.
Yeah.
You can't enjoy football, so if you enjoy cricket, then
that's low.
By all means.
That's low. That's low.
I'm just saying.
My uncle came in the pharmacy on Saturday. I was in the back doing something. All I hear is Chelsea. And that was just after Chelsea are losing. People in pharmacy, so now everybody in pharmacy got to know it's sport Chelsea. So then he tried to throw it back at him. I was like, man, I see when it was 1-0 down in El Clasico. You know what the man start to do? The man start busting out saying, hey, Jude. I was like...
That's funny.
He can't stop scoring, no?
Yeah. Interesting enough.
Yeah. So, yeah, I get it from all ends. I get it from you. I get it from Spurs. People that just walking in the pharmacy laughing at me and know my uncle. Chelsea, look at what you're doing to me.
Honestly, right? It's not that I try and give Chelsea state. It's that I try to give you state. Because I don't think Chelsea are... I think Chelsea will be okay in the end. I think your form will pick up.
In the end.
But...
Which end? End of my life?
Well, whatever you say.
End of the children's lives?
No, you're being dramatic.
Anyways, I've enjoyed tonight's show. Have you?
It's been okay.
Time to plug some people?
Sure. Spirit Light Studios? Should start with him. Yeah, so thanks to Spirit Light Studios.
You cannot.
Shah has been doing a great job. And we cannot thank him enough.
It's true, he added some new graphics. I sent him a message about it and he ignored it, but it's alright. Typical, let me not say that. I was going to say typical man, but that would be putting all men in a bracket that I should not be doing. I can't generalize to all male species, but yes, he's doing a great job putting in some really impressive graphics and stuff and hosting us and, we appreciate it.
Right.
Shout out to Whole Health as well. Our perennial sponsors. Got my new mug. Carrying some more water. Gotta keep hydrated in this heat in Barbados.
Right.
Us, the Dugout _podcast.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row, guys. So yeah.
Yeah, and you can follow me at Drew9106.
And Marissa Simone 91. I think that's it. And we definitely have we're really excited because we have some good news to share about a guest that we're gonna have. I know I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. We're really excited. We don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet, but we just have to sort out a few logistics and some technical stuff. But that person will definitely be here, and we know that our audience will be very pleased as to who it will be. The first of many guests, I hope. I actually found out when me and Andrew went cricket that he actually has some connections that he has not been using. Had to scold him for that, but we will soon start seeing the fruit of those connections.
I don't know
Hopefully
what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
Okay.
I know some people that know some people, right? that's as far as it goes.
All right.
I didn't know you were interested in speaking to these people.
We ain't going there right now.
So
don't make me upset again.
Hesitated.
Don't make me upset again.
I know we were upset with you to begin with in the first place. But anyhow, it's been a great show.
It has been.
I look forward to regaining the lead in the leaderboard. This time next week.
Actually, I can't even roll my eyes because I really do believe I'm gonna have a terrible week. I think it's going to be the worst leaderboard week that we've had. I think it's going to be the worst. I think I'm only going to get one of those results. Well, 2 because I did predict a Liverpool win. Yeah, so 2. City and Liverpool win. Yeah, but I'll be shocked if I get more than them 2, to be honest. But we'll see. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.
This program was brought to you by Spirit Led Studios, the sound of life.